My name is Aymie and I am a 20-year-old art school student. I'm studying fashion design. I also have a blog, 100 Days of Mimi, and basically that's a daily mood blog, basically documenting my illness of bipolar disorder. There are good days and then there are really bad days. The thing is that's so strange about the illness is that sometimes you don't realise you're unwell at the time, and it's people around you that have to notice that. What I've realised most is that the biggest triggers for episodes of bipolar disorder tend to be stress, and if you don't have enough sleep, if you're not eating healthy, things like that. However, it is something genetically wrong in the head, so it can kind of arrive whenever and you don't really know when that's going to happen, and the episodes like mania and depression can last weeks to months to even years in some cases. You have to kind of strive to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're taking your medication and going to all these appointments, so it's quite stressful. However, I think that it's kind of taught me some positive things as well, like I can kind of sympathise with others more, and I can understand that if someone's a bit angry, I can understand that there's reasons behind that, and so I guess I can have a better understanding of other people as well. I think you really have to explain to the doctor if you go to just your local GP. It is, a lot of people only report their signs of feeling sad, but if you do feel there is something else going on, speak to your GP, because the way that they operate is that the GP can only take on so many mental health issues, that for something like bipolar disorder that's a serious mental health issue, you have to go to your community mental health team. And so if you're only going to your GP and you're saying, oh, well, I feel depressed a lot, although sometimes I feel okay, and you're not reporting the true extent of it, there's only so much your GP can do, and they can't treat something more serious. And so if you do feel it is more serious, you've really got to push for that kind of help, because it is there. I've kind of used a lot of mental health services. I've used the ones that are available publicly, and I've used the ones that are from the voluntary sector as well. In terms of the NHS, of course, I have so many appointments with their community mental health team and my GP, and they assign me a nurse, a psychiatrist, there's all that in there, and so I do take advantage of that. There's also some really good support out there that is from the voluntary sector, and I found that SAMH are really good. That's who I went to originally when I was diagnosed with depression, and then I found Bipolar Scotland, and I think they're based in Paisley, but they've got places all over Scotland, and they have support groups which are completely free, and they're in all different areas, and they're every couple of weeks, and it's really good because I went before and I saw so many people there as well. It inspired me to write my blog because I realised when I did attend the support group that there was actually a bit of an imbalance in kind of age group of people that were going to this. Everyone kind of were around like 40 years old in this support group, and I was only 19. And I felt, this is really strange, like I can't be the only young person. And I asked my psychiatrist, and he said, no, I do have numerous young people that have the same illness. And I thought it was odd that people weren't showing up to things like these, and I think they just didn't know what was available. So I thought by writing my blog that I could maybe kind of group young people into seeing like what it's like, and those that are suffering that someone else is as well. And most people with bipolar disorder get their first signs when they're kind of in their late teenage years, their early 20s, and most people aren't diagnosed till they're in their 40s. So I think like people have to be aware of the signs as well. Things like depression and anxiety, I think at this point so many people know what they are now, and things like bipolar disorder, people just believe it's when you go from one extreme to another, when really it's much more complicated than that. It's a complete spectrum illness where there are all different symptoms from all different mental illnesses. And so I think that it's good that when I write this blog, that I'm caring for those young people and letting them know that there is something else there, and if you don't feel you have a full diagnosis, that you kind of got to go and fight for that as well. If I were to meet a guy, I would have to be open and tell him that I have an illness. I feel that there's a bit of a stigma that if I tell someone I'm bipolar, particularly when I'm meeting someone romantically, that they'll be like, oh no, she's a lot of hard work. And I guess that just comes down to, you know, people really have to be educated on it. I am entirely a normal person, and when people do find out, they're like, really? We would never have known. So yeah, I think there are a few stigmas there that I might be this crazy person who like does really unprecedented things when that's usually not the case.